Ariel Helwani at Strikeforce Nashville with the legend himself, Mr. Herschel Walker. And Herschel, we had heard some rumors that you were going to be fighting on the CBS card. What happened?
Well, I got back after my fight and got back to my work a little bit, even though I'm still training. But I have a food company, so I got back to doing that, and I'm getting ready to get back into the gym to get serious back into training again, and get ready to see if I can do another one.
So let's put it out there. You will fight again in MMA, right?
Yes, I will fight again. I hope to fight again. I'm doing the same thing as I did before, leaving it in Javier and Bob Cook and Dave Camarillo, a.k.a. leaving it into their hands. I'm still young, even though I enjoy this. I'm still young, so I'm still learning. But I leave it to the trainers and all my fighters at the gym.
When do you think this fight will take place?
Well, I hope it's going to take place probably toward the end of the year. One thing I want to do is I want to step up a little bit. I want to thank Greg for giving me an opportunity to fight. My next fight, which I want to step up a little bit more, and if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to train a little bit longer. You got to take this serious. This is a serious sport. It's very tough. It's tough being a fighter, and for myself, I want to be able to step up, and so I'm going to have to train a little bit longer this time.
Have they talked to you about any opponents just yet?
Not really. One thing that I have to do is get back into the gym. I think that's the most important thing, to get back into the gym and see if I can do it. I still say I can't have pride thinking that I can do it. I did well my first fight by winning, but I made a lot of mistakes. So the second fight, I want to be able to get into the gym and really work hard and let them say whether I can fight again, and if I can, to say what type of opponent I'm going to get.
Well, you mentioned some of those mistakes that you think you made in your first fight. What is the biggest thing you'd like to improve on come your next fight?
My next fight is, I think before my first one, no one thought that I want to go to the ground. Everyone said, oh, he's going to be a stand-up because of my Taekwondo background. But, I think my next fight, I like to stand up some. If I have to go to the ground, I will. And even the last fight, going to the ground, I was not perfect. That was sometimes I was a little bit more upright, where I could have put a little bit of pressure on Greg by stretching my body out, bringing my legs back a little bit farther. But, to win is important. I think the next fight, I may like stand up a little bit.
You're obviously a big mainstream sports star. What kind of feedback did you get from other sports journalists and also your contemporaries, other NFL players, other sports stars, about your debut in MMA?
Well, I got a lot of positive things. You get some negative things from your true fight fans. Say, oh, you got a long ways to go. And that's what I said when I first came into this sport. I got a long ways to go. This is a very serious sport, and I think guys got to take it serious. My football fans, they absolutely cannot believe that I even do this. And, a lot of them want to get into it. That's what's so strange about it. They want to get into it. And I've said, guys, if you're going to do it, you got to get into a gym. I don't care who you are, what great an athlete you are. You got to get into a gym if you're going to do this sport. This is a very tough sport. The guys that are doing it have been doing it a long time. They're professionals. And, for them, I want to say my fellow partners here that are fighters, they were happy that I did it. They said that I looked good for my first fight. They thought I'd be nervous. And, what's strange about it, I said, this is competition. I didn't get into it as a job. I know this couldn't be a job for me. It was something I wanted to compete at, and you got to have fun at it. And that's what I want to tell all the people out there, all the fighters. If you're not having fun at this here, don't do it, because it's too serious, it's too hard. If you're not having fun, don't do it. If you're going to have fun at doing it, that's when you want to keep doing it.
I'm sure you heard UFC President Dana White voicing his displeasure with all the immediate attention that you received. What do you make of that?
Dana says a lot of things, and I respect Dana a great deal because he's done a lot for this sport. I respect him a great deal, but I think people take Dana for what he's worth. He's done a lot for this sport. He's put on a lot of good events, but one thing that Dana got to realize is I'm in this sport because I love it. And I've never got into it as a media anything. I don't need media attention. So whatever I can do to help this sport, and it's sad sometimes there's jealousy from his side, and because he's not the only show in town right now, and that may be the reason he said all these things, because UFC put on a lot of great events. They have a lot of great fighters, but let's give Strikeforce their due. Strikeforce putting on a lot of great events. You look at the event tonight. You're on CBS, and at the same time, you got 3 champions that are fighting. That is impressive, and you got 3 great champions that are fighting. And then you got one of the guys that was a UFC fighter. that's fighting. And he's one of the top at his class in 2-weight class, not just in 1. And you look at someone like King Mo, who's an up-and-coming rising star, but very flamboyant, but that can fight. So, and so that's why I say you take Dana for what he's worth. I like him. He's a great guy, and I know him, and I respect him a great deal because MMA is something I love. He's done a lot to bring this sport to where it's at, but right now, I don't think he's the words everybody's taking as being the guy that knows what's going on.
All right, finally, will you still be taking your career fight by fight, or do you now have a sort of sense as to how many fights you'd like to compete in?
Oh, no, that's no doubt, fight by fight. As Dana, I'm gonna go back to Dana. Dana said I'm an old man. I am an old man, but I can fight because I haven't seen yet Dana say I want to challenge Herschel. So that means I can fight a little bit. But I take it fight by fight because what's important is you got to keep integrity to the sport. I want to be able to compete at the highest level when I step into the cage, into the octagon. I want to be able to compete at the highest level. I think when it get to the point that I can't do it, I got to step away from it. And I feel good. I think I can do it, but I still leave it in my trainers at AKA's hand to say, Herschel, whether you can do it or not. When I get into the gym, I got Kane, who I consider one of the best heavyweights in the business, if he's not the best in the business. So he's going to beat me up a little bit, and he'll be my measuring stick whether I can do it. I still got Swick and Thompson and all those guys they're my measuring stick. So they're the ones to tell me whether I can do it or not.
All right, Herschel, well, a pleasure as always. We look forward to your next fight.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me on.